We know that programming is important for learning, and we cannot deny that programming is important in our daily life. So can you give us some examples, the use of the programming?
So this is the power of programming that actually makes all this possible to solve and either to provide an improvement into the global eco-friendly solution.
Some people have this kind of feel that it is very hard and it is also difficult to learn programming. Can you share with us some of the challenges that you have encountered while you learn in programming?
Okay. Programming is not hard, but it's always about your interest. It's just like any of the language. When we want to learn about language, for example, even we talk about Spanish, and those who learn it just because it take it as a third language or because of you really enjoy speaking it, and either or you feel proud with it. So same goes to programming. When you actually enjoy with the power of programming that can achieve something, then that will makes you really go in and learn, put the effort. When you can help to see the result, and that's what you would like to put your effort, and that takes away all the fear and helps you to even put your heart to learn it and get better.
As long as you enjoy learning program,
Yes.
then there is no problem.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we know that there are so many programming languages in the world nowadays, such as Java, PHP, SQL, and many more. So among these programming languages, what is the top programming language to learn in 2019 and to get a job?
Okay, in fact, by looking at what actually is top languages, we will say that in every industry, it has its own requirement as the top language in every industry. So, for example, if you actually would like to do to explore your career in, let's say, analytics, then Python will be the one. And if you like to explore your work or your career into a website and online, then PHP, Java, or either .NET is a language that actually is top in the market. And with the increase of IR 4.0, we will say that any of programming language is highly in demand in the market. So same goes to for FUSIONEX over here, that we also see the needs, and especially the market requirement of more resources in programming. So that's why we have a full range of how to lead people to go into this proper programming, so that we can supply to the right market the requirement of the Malaysia digital transformation plan follow to the IR 4.0.
I see. Thank you, sir. Alright, sir. The world has changed a lot, and machine has become the common use in our daily life. So, what is the impact of programming to IR 4.0?
Oh, okay. IR 3.0 itself is already started with the computerization and automation, and the difference of IR 4.0 is going into cyber system, and as well as IoT, and also big data, and also machine learning. So this is the different. When you're in IR 3.0, we were talking about the programming within the system itself and talking about the operation within the organization. But in the IR 4.0, and you're looking at network, internet, so it's talking about integration externally and how you expand your business globally. So the programming is talking about the API and the integration, and also an international standard of programming that you should be able to actually link or either speak to the other of your counterpart, and this is where you need to learn the global standard. And the programming, it comes in on what we call that structured and unstructured data combination of all unlimited devices. these are all the things that we need to learn in programming.
So those are also the impact of
Yes.
programming itself
Yes.
to IR 4.0. So we have come to the end of this video. So could you tell us some of your last words to the students out there, especially pursuing in data analytics?
Okay. Basically, by learning programming and before we talk about pursuing data analytics, there are always fear and there are a lot of questions and to allow the student to go into the programming, and they'll find it actually quite difficult. But in the other side, if we can actually come up with something which encourage them in the programming itself, then that is what actually will drag them into programming. So just like for myself, I started programming, and because I could do something very simple. For example, I did a very small program that just by input what is my name, and the result come out to be if is input with my name, and then it will come out that you are so hardworking, and then I can control it. If my friend put it their name, and it's going to come out with something that you are lazy. So that makes me feel so good that I can control the instruction, and we should put this kind of thing to allow the student to feel and to encourage for what they work, especially in the program that or project that allows them to look at to assess themselves and encourage them to say that this programming that they have done, even from a very little, but they can show that they are progressing. So this kind of program or project in learning is very important to encourage the student to move on to the next step. Yep.
So that's all. Thank you so much, sir, for your sharing today. And again, thank you very much for being with us today in our industrial guidance video. That's all for today's video. I'm Alia Safri. Bye bye and Assalamualaikum.